So we commonly get asked about mistakes to avoid when designing a central vacuum system for your car wash. So we put together a small video here to take into consideration some of the top 4 items that we generally run into. These are design mistakes that can be easily avoided if you have your vacuum system provider really pay attention to some of these points, and you'll end up with a very well designed system that's going to be a good experience for your customers, and of course a good experience for you as the operator as well.
Common mistakes that we typically run into is first and foremost inadequate power, having too light a suction, not using dual hoses, not using trash bins, and not providing a mat rack for your customers. These accessories are important, and it offers a level of convenience, and it sets your vacuum plaza apart from the competition.
My name is Tom Tucker. I started Vacutech in 1997 in my garage in El Cajon, California. I grew up in the vacuum business. I've been doing it full time since September 1968. This is the only job I've ever had other than 4 years in the Air Force.
Hello, my name is John Simmons. I am the Southeast Director of Sales for Vacutech. I've been with Vacutech for going on 4 years currently, but I've been in the car wash industry for about 30 years total. Have been involved in some other companies regarding POS sales, car wash equipment sales, and vacuum system sales.
Hello, my name is Dan Beaupete. I am the Midwest Regional Sales Director for Vacutech, and I have been in this car wash business for about 30 years. A number of different manufacturing companies in tunnel equipment and dryer systems, and now in vacuum systems, and predominantly seen everything in the tunnel business that there is to see.
This is Steve Lineman with Vacutech. I'm responsible for sales and marketing, and will be walking us through a couple of videos today. In this segment, we're going to talk about vacuum systems that are improperly designed and the effects of those design flaws. In this particular situation, we have a busy day on the car wash. We've got 3 users that you can see in this video that are satisfied with their vacuuming experience. The gentleman in the black truck has pulled up. He's pulled the hose, testing the suction, realizes it's not up to his standards. And as you can see, the other users who are perfectly satisfied with the experience they had are now experiencing some performance issues with a lack of suction. And this is one of the byproducts of a poorly designed system that most people don't understand.
Well, the first thing that all customers do, and I've been in this industry a long time, the first thing I do when I pull a vacuum nozzle off of a hanger or pull a crevice tool out of a holder is I put my hand to it and feel the suction. Everybody does it. When you pull that vacuum nozzle or crevice tool off the hanger and you can hear that air rushing in, that's a good sign that you have the proper relationship of airflow and pressure.
One of the misconceptions that we hear often is a simple explanation of how vacuum systems are designed based on number of drops or users to horsepower. Unfortunately, proper vacuum system design is not that easy. There are a multitude of factors that are considered in a properly designed system, including elevation, the total length of piping, the size of the piping, the type of debris that's being introduced into the system, and the maximum number of users on the busiest day. So really important to take those into consideration to ensure that we have a great customer experience. If you're engaged in a conversation with someone who's talking about hose drops or the number of users for a particular horsepower, dig a little deeper, make sure that you get the confidence that they are taking other factors into account and are designing a system around those to ensure the best customer experience.
Before we can determine the horsepower, the size of the filter separator, we need to know how many parking spaces, how many vacuum hoses do you want at each parking space? Do you want a single hose all the way across? Or do you want double hoses, which would be a single on each end and doubles in the middle? That is a very important item that we need to address before we can do much of anything in determining the horsepower, the airflow, or the pressure, is how many hoses are going to be hanging from that vacuum delivery arch, stanchion, or whatever or it could be overhead under a canopy dropping down. Because we have to make sure that we provide enough airflow and pressure to not only handle the people that are vacuuming their car, but the hoses that aren't being used have to have enough pressure to keep them sealed so they don't cavitate or fall off, which depletes the system. And then you have customers that can't actually adequately vacuum their car because of loss of airflow and pressure because the system was never designed properly.
The most important factors of a properly designed system or the byproduct is first and foremost creating a great customer experience that drives those customers back to your site time and time again to improve your revenue. That is our goal. Properly designed system is going to lead to efficiencies as well, that is going to allow customers to get the cleaning of their vehicle done efficiently, allows them to get back on with their day, but then is also allowing space or vacuum spaces that are available for the next customer who may be coming onto the lot.
The more efficient your vacuum system is, and if it's been properly designed and engineered, you're going to find that the vacuum system is going to be probably one of the most talked about areas of your car wash. And I have customers call me all the time and say, and this is how the conversation goes. They say, Tucker, all my customers talk about is your vacuum system. And I ask them, I says, well, is that a problem? And they say, well, obviously, no, it's not a problem. They love the vacuum system. That's one of the things that brings them back.
We're taking into account many factors such as elevation, the total distance of the piping, the pipe size, and obviously the total number of users that we expect to see at the car wash on the busiest day. Here's an example of what we would expect to see in a properly designed system. We have a new user to the system. He's testing the suction. You can see the other users don't even realize that he's begun using the system. He's vacuuming. And the byproduct of this is having a properly designed system results in greater efficiency for the customer. So that not only provides a good customer experience for the people on site, but it also creates efficiency so that you remove the frustration of other customers who may not have a vacuum space available if the users on the system are taking longer than what's actually required with a properly designed system. So you can see this user worked through cleaning his vehicle pretty quickly, and he's going to depart the spot so that another car wash customer can come in and complete the vacuuming of their vehicle.
Now, this mistake is simply having single hoses versus dual hoses on your vacuum spaces. When you only have a single hose, on a busier site, as you'll see with this customer pulling in the white truck, he wants to vacuum his car on the driver's side, of course. The problem is the customer next to him is vacuuming the passenger side of the car and using the hose that's between those two vehicles. Well, what does this do? It doesn't allow him to have a hose. So he's going to awkwardly, at this case, perhaps ask the customer how long they're going to be. That's kind of rude. He's going to look around, see if there's other vacuum spaces he can pull into, which is kind of inconvenient, or maybe just gets frustrated altogether and leaves the property. So it's just a little inconvenient to not have dual hoses. It's very simple to add them. It's very low cost as well. And it just, again, makes it very much a much better experience for the customer to have two hoses. That way they can vacuum their car either side anytime, not have to wait for the customer next to them to be to free up the hose. Yeah, I think anything that you can give your customer to make it a better experience is just going to be a plus. They're gonna know that they're gonna not have to look for the competitor that offers a better experience for them.
So we see the customer pull into the parking space. There's dual hoses at each vacuum stall, and he has no need to wait. He can immediately go up to a hose, feel for suction, and get to the task at hand. He's not interrupting the neighbor next to him. It seems to be a pretty busy day, so everybody's going to be in a vacuum stall today, and there's no waiting. As long as you're not waiting, you don't have to. You'll have the ability to get people in and out of the parking space and turn over cars quickly. Another nice thing with dual hoses is, let's say this gentleman brought his son or his daughter with him. He could say, "Hey, Junior, go over to the passenger side, grab a hose, and you do that side, I'll do this side, and we can get to the baseball game quicker." So now you've got two people with the ability to vacuum a car again while not interrupting the neighbor. Another thing that you can do is set these hoses up with the two different tool devices. You can put a claw tool on one hose and a crevice tool on the other. And now you've set yourself apart from your competition because you're offering a tool to clean a different part of the car with more effectiveness. And you want to be able to get into the nooks and crannies with a crevice tool, for instance. Then you want to have the speed of the carpet and the upholstery with a claw. Another thing that you notice is you have a bit of redundancy between cars. Just in case one of the hoses had an issue, there's always another hose there for a customer to use.
Trash receptacles. A lot of customers might ask, why do I have to have so many trash receptacles? Why should I put one on every space that I have available? Well, because people dump a lot of stuff out of their cars. They're coming in there to clean the inside. They need a place to put that trash because they're about ready to vacuum. So in this case here, you're going to see this gentleman get out of the truck. He's got some trash, and he's going to look around for a trash can because, well, he needs to throw it away. What's he going to do? Yeah, he's going to look around, make sure he's looking. He's going to drop it on the ground. What's that do? It promotes a dirty experience for the car wash. Doesn't look good. Employees have to come out and now clean up trash throughout the day. It just goes back to the convenience factor of having these things for your customers, and having a trash can at each space is going to keep them from being overloaded too quickly, rather than having perhaps one way down the row or two, scattered throughout the property. They're going to get filled up real fast. And it's also inconvenient for the customer to have to walk a long distance to throw something away.
So the proper way to set up your vacuum position is with a trash receptacle. And here you'll notice this trash receptacle is attached to the vacuum arch. It's in a convenient location where the customer can see it as he pulls in. And you'll see the first thing he does is grabs a coffee cup and gets rid of everything he's accumulated. And now he can get to the task of vacuuming the vehicle. It's a convenient, necessary component for your vacuum. And again, it promotes a clean environment for the customer. This particular lid from VacuTech is a weighted lid. And without it becoming a Frisbee in high wind condition, that weight keeps it placed in its proper orientation on top of the trash liner.
And by having that right underneath the debris separator, which is the canister unit right above there that's collecting all the large debris, this makes it real easy for the attendants who are responsible for cleaning these units to just dump that trash right into the trash can below it, lift that liner right on out, dump it into either another trash can or take it to the trash dumpster, whatever they're doing there. It just makes it a real nice, easy way to collect the trash at the site. Mat racks. Why should I have a mat rack? Not having a mat rack at the site, again, just makes something a little more desirable for the customer to have when they're cleaning the inside of their vehicle. Vacuuming the inside includes floor mats. And not having a rack available to make it easier for them is just going to promote them banging on the pole, like you see this fella here doing, which is going to mar the paint surface over time. It's going to make a mess on the ground as well. It might affect the neighboring customer there. So you want to have a mat rack in place to make it very easy and convenient for the customer to vacuum their floor mats.
Again, much like other accessories that we feel are important, the mat rack makes it a very convenient tool to have for your customers. And it also promotes a quick in and out of the parking space so you can get proper turnover of cars.
And the customer's not putting their mat that they're cleaning, they're trying to clean, they're not putting it on the ground, getting it even dirtier than it was, or sticking it on their hood of their car and perhaps scratching it because they simply just don't want to have to bend down or get on their hands and knees to try to vacuum the mat.
Okay, so this customer pulls into the parking spot and he sees that it's properly set up with a mat rack. And the first thing he does is pull his mat out and he'll clip it to the rack. It's in a sturdy, convenient waist high position. The tool is close to the rack as well, so you can easily clean the mat and provide a proper cleaning application to that before you get to the carpet on the inside of the vehicle. That stainless steel clip is spring loaded, very rigid, durable, and it holds the mat in place so you can clean the mat, clean all the debris off the mat.
So mat racks, again, in addition to the other things we talked about, the trash cans, the dual hoses, the proper power, all of this makes your site a much better and more attractive location for customers to visit. It keeps them from having to find someone else that can do something better than you can.
We appreciate you spending some of your time today and allowing us to share some of our insight and experience with you today. We're excited to be able to work with our customers on the design of their systems and creating successful car washes and great customer experience. We're fully staffed with our design, engineering, and manufacturing, installation services to assist our customers. If you have an interest in learning more, you can reach us at vacutechllc.com.